Hello, my name is Carlos Quesada. I am here at the West Virginia University Organic Farm, and today I would like to talk about pesticides and most specifically organic pesticide. But before I start, I would like to define what is a pest and pesticides. So a pest is an animal or a plant that affect humans. So for example, some pests will feed on our crops and they will reduce our harvest or production. Some another example may be weeds. Weeds that are within our crops, they will compete for water, nutrients, and light with our crops. Um, Pesticides are products that are labeled to control, kill, manage, or repel some pests. So all the pesticides that are used in United States must be registered through the EPA. EPA is that Environmental Protection Agency. The EPA will determine where to apply the pesticide and how to apply it on the way that is safe for that applicator, for that environment, and other people. So EPA divide pesticide in three different groups: restricted use pesticide, general use pesticide, and 25B or minimum risk pesticide. So today I have some examples of labels. As you can notice, all pesticides that are restricted use must have that statement on the label that they are restricted use pesticide. So if a farmer or anybody else who want to apply the pesticide want to buy it or work with it, they must to have an West Virginia pesticide license, as I have mine over here. So the second group will be general use pesticide. So these pesticides can be bought by anybody, including farmers. Farmers can buy this pesticide and apply it on their farms. However, if they want to apply it in somebody else's farm, they also need pesticide license, like I have mine over here too. So if you are an homeowner or a master gardener, and if you want to buy this pesticide, you will be able to buy it and apply it in your house. But if you want to apply it in somebody else's house, you will also need an pesticide license. So the third group is a 25B pesticide, or also known as a minimum risk pesticide. So this group, I have an example of a label right here. These pesticides don't need a lot of research from the EPA because they already have a list of the products that can be used as a 25B pesticide. So there are some restrictions. For example, this pesticide must have that active ingredient and inert ingredient list on the label. However, both of them must be on that EPA list as products that are minimum use. There are about 44 different products that are listed on the EPA, that are listed by the EPA. But today, I would like to talk about organic pesticide. Organic pesticide usually come from natural resources. So they can be divided in three groups. These three groups are botanical pesticides, microbial pesticides, and others. So let's start with botanical pesticide. So here is a very common pesticide that is called neem. So you get a name because that's the name of the plant that this product is extract. So neem are actually labeled to control whiteflies, some caterpillars, and mealybugs. So the way that it works is it repels that insect from the plants, but there have been some research that also suggests that neem can reduce that mating of insects and also affect the hormones of insects. So something I want you to see from these products, I have the three of these containers right here are neems. If you can see right here, we have this statement that is OMRI. That means Organic Material Review Institute. This institute review the different pesticides and determine whether or not they are organic. So if you are an organic farmer, please look for that statement to make sure you are applying a pesticide that is organic. Sometimes, like over here, you have another statement that say for organic gardening. The second group is called microbial pesticide. So those are based on pathogens that are already on that environment but used to control pests. Here we have an example today. This is a Bacillus Turtigensis. So Bacillus Turtigensis is a very common used pesticide because it can be very specific for some group of insects. So there are different subspecies. Depending on the subspecies, BT or Bacillus Turtigensis can only kill caterpillars or lepidopterans or beetles that are also called coleopterans. Just to give you another example of how safe is this product, the USDA used these products to kill black flies on rivers. So they use it on rivers because they know that this pesticide will not affect fish or any wildlife that is drinking from that water or plants that that water is used for production. The second example is Balbaria Basiana. This is a fungus and BT is a bacteria. So this fungus, Balbaria Basiana, is used to control whiteflies, some grasshoppers, and some group of coleopterans. Is another organic product that is safe to humans and also can be safe for many natural enemies. The last group is products such as insecticidal soap or other products such as horticultural oils. So horticultural oils are based on mineral or can be petroleum-based horticultural oils. They basically work by suffocating that insect. So when you apply this pesticide, they will cover that insect body and will stop them from breeding, and that's how they kill the pest. So something I want you to have in mind is that some of these organic products can be also toxic to natural enemies. So you should only apply pesticide when you have identified a problem on your crop. Also, I would like to mention that pesticide application should be your last resort. So there are many approaches that you can use to keep the pest population down. Or example can be a cultural control. So cultural control is um, helping or changing that environment so you keep the population down. For example, some fungus need certain temperature and humidity to grow. So if you keep on your greenhouse that humidity down, then the fungus won't be able to reproduce and affect your pests. Another good example of cultural control is crop rotation. So if you are planting cucumbers and you have cucumber beetles every year, you can rotate your crop to another different plant family to stop that life cycle of cucumber beetles, for example. Another approach is mechanical control. So one of the best examples that I use for mechanical control is traps. Here in my hands I have an sticky card. Insects are attracted to different lights. So they are attracted to the color yellow, and some other insects are attracted to the color blue. So this sticky card right here have some glue on it that when the insect is attracted will get stuck in that sticky card. The other approach that you can use to keep a population down is the use of natural enemies. So there are several ways to improve the natural enemies population on your greenhouse or outside the field. And these are, one of them is buying that natural enemies agents. And you can buy parasitoids or predators and release them on your crops. The second way is to improve the condition for your natural enemies. So predators and parasitoids likes to feed on pollen and nectar. And then if you plant other plants around your crops that flower on a different time, they will have other food resources and they won't have to fly far away from your crop to find those kind of food. So today I want to finish with, for those people, for farmers or homeowners or master gardeners that want to be organic, you can still use pesticide, but those pesticides must be organic pesticide. And we have different options. I use these 4 different options today, but if you are a commercial grower, you can use the new commercial vegetable production recommendation book that is now available. You can see that information in the screen where you can get it from.